story. We all know it was love at first sight when I played WCW vs. NWO World Tour. I knew I had to purchase an N64 immediately. But I had a friend who told me that the PlayStation had a WCW game coming out in a few months. Tried to convince me to wait for that instead. But stuck with my gut and got an N64 instead of that PlayStation game, which turned out to be WCW Nitro. To put this into perspective, this was like deciding against getting on the Titanic, and instead buying a winning lottery ticket. This game is just that bad. Nitro was designed by Inland Productions and published by Acclaim. Force of Habit. It was published by THQ and released for the PlayStation in January 1998, and later ported to the N64 and PC. Start the game up, you get a cool highlight reel of Nitro clips. It takes me back. Nitro, the original 3-hour Monday Night Wrestling program, just with more random luchadors, Goldberg squashes, and Jerry Flynn. Here are your game modes. There's Tournament mode, which is actually just beating 10 guys in a row to win the title, but whatever. And singles and tag matches, either against a computer or another player. And that's it. I realized WCW didn't have a lot of signature stipulation matches, like the WWF had Hell in a Cell and Royal Rumbles. And the ones they had like War Games or World War III probably weren't feasible to put in the game. But World Tour at least had tournaments, leagues, and supported 4 players. The game is a weird 2D, 3D hybrid. You can go in any direction, but the camera keeps moving to keep you in a 2D setup with your opponent. And as such, the controls are awful, and doing minor things like climbing the turnbuckles or going for pinfalls when your opponents are near the corner are profoundly frustrating. The game has a lot of different pay-per-view setups, something we really hadn't seen before. You could have your match on Nitro or the Great American Bash or sold out. It also included the Titantron, or whatever WCW's version of it was, in the background showing the action going on in the ring, which is pretty impressive. Otherwise, the presentation is drab. The wrestlers themselves move stiffly, there are no entrances, and the crowd is this large gray blob. There is some commentary from Tony Schiavone and Bobby Heenan, but it's mostly Tony just saying move names, Bobby chiming in with the occasional quip. Here's how you play. You enter button combinations like in your house to perform moves. A pile driver is triangle circle, and the body slam is up triangle triangle. Everyone in the game has mostly the same moves with a few exceptions. It's not so bad, in the sense that most of the moves are pretty basic and there's a decent amount of them. But you do have silliness like Kevin Nash and the Giant throwing spin kicks, and everyone in the game having a powerbomb. Thank God Billy Kidman isn't in the game. Your PlayStation might short out from all the powerbomb reversals. Here are the exceptions. Larger wrestlers have an overhead slam and foot choke, while smaller wrestlers have a Frankensteiner and head scissors instead. But for the record, the first time I wrestled Ric Flair, the first 3 moves he gave me were 2 Frankensteiners and a head scissors. Lucha Flair. The other difference is each wrestler has 3 signature moves, 1 or 2 of which are finishers you do when your opponent's health is low. The funny thing is, since everyone in the game has a powerbomb, Nash has a super powerbomb, which is just a sit-out version. Booker T and Stevie Ray have something called the Harlem Flip, which is just a back body drop kind of move. There are lots of weird move names like the Snap Ab Suplex and the One-Hand Pancake. By the way, make sure you turn run-ins off. Someone random will surely attack you during your matches. While run-ins were certainly a thematic staple of Nitro at the time, you don't need them in your video games. You start the game with 16 characters, and like another WCW game, Super Brawl, this one's pretty famous for its character selection screen. If you hit the circle button, you get to hear your wrestler either imploring you to pick them or threatening you. Here's Kevin Nash clearly not giving a shit.
Hey there! How'd you like to get powered, Bob? Come on, pick me. I'm begging you, pick me. Please pick me.
Here's famous promo man Alex Wright.
Hallo, hier ist Alex Wright. Wenn ihr High-Flying Wrestling Action wollt, den Spinning Sidekick, den Top Turnbuckle Dropkick, dann nehmt mich und der Sieg ist euch sicher, ich verspreche euch.
Here's Eddie Guerrero. I forgot to pack his charisma that day.
You better be ready to wrestle, because you know, when you're getting in the ring with Eddie Guerrero, it's going to be high-flying and exciting.
But hey, any game where Stevie Ray can tell me it's
gonna be on like neckbone, sucker!
At the push of a button, can't be all bad. I love these promos. If only indie wrestlers could do them too.
Hello video game world, let me give you 5 good reasons to choose me, the Rising Flame. Number 1, fire. Number 2, high flying. 3, hard hitting. 4, 37-time CCW World Heavyweight Champion. Number 5, more fire. People get ready, there's a flame coming.
Like the option's even hard. All you gotta do is just pick me. Come on, you wanna go with the winner, or do you wanna go with some loser? Choose Darren Corbin, your only choice.
you've chosen Dapper Donnie, the best dancer in the world.
It only takes one of half a dozen hoes to beat you. So if you're man enough to step in the ring, go ahead and try it.
Hello video game playing world, you've stumbled upon the cheat of the century. You can now play simultaneously as Dapper Donnie and the Rising Flame, the Flames of Love.
Well, you start the game with 16 wrestlers, you have the option of unlocking 48 more. How you do this? Well, take one of the original 16 characters and beat the tournament mode. That'll unlock a hidden character. If you beat the game with that new character, it'll open another. If you beat it again with that new character, it'll unlock yet another. You do this with all 16 original characters, so in essence you have to beat the game 48 times to get everyone. Or you can just enter a code on the menu screen, it's your choice. Man, 64 characters is a huge roster. Let's see who we have here. Alright, there's Chris Jericho, Rey Mysterio, great, Steve McMichael, there's Conan. Sadly, the unlocked characters don't cut promos. I would look forward to Conan making a bad joke and then saying, boom. Who else do we have here? There's Tony and Bobby, and Kimberly, and a bear? Huh? And apparently Godzilla? And a ghost? And as fun as it is to have a bear maul Disco Inferno, I'm kind of looking for more actual WCW wrestlers. It's not like they didn't have 100 guys on the contract at the time. Now, who are these slobs? Uncle Monkey and the Dude Man? Well, apparently they're on the THQ staff, so they made themselves playable characters. Look, I don't mind when game creators sneak themselves into the game, but don't make yourself a character when you could put an actual wrestler in there instead. To its credit, the game commercial only hyped 35 WCW wrestlers, but still. They got real lazy with the unlockable characters, especially their finishers. Chris Jericho has a sharpshooter instead of the Lion Tamer, Conan has a Texas Cloverleaf instead of the Tequila Sunrise, and Ultimo Dragon the Buzzkill instead of the Dragon Sleeper. I think some of these may have been cleaned up on the PC version, but on the PlayStation it's borderline insulting. There are also different unlockable rings. No, not something like older pay-per-views. I mean weird settings like a disco or Hall of Mirrors that'll give you a headache. What, no Spring Break Nitro set? If you hit R2 on the disco set, you and your opponent will do the YMCA dance. You can actually get your opponent counted out doing this by doing it over and over again. Well, this game is lousy. The gameplay's awful, graphics and sound aren't too much. There's ultimately nothing to do. I can't even imagine being a PlayStation owner and WCW fan and seeing what was going on with the N64 at the time. Even worse would be having an N64. Your grandparents actually buy you this game instead of Revenge. The game actually sold enough to warrant a greatest hits re-release. There are a lot of copies floating around, but don't bother. It's not even fun for 5 minutes. You can watch all the rants on YouTube and actually get a sequel. But that's a game for another time. Until then, thanks for watching, and remember, a winner is you.
The exciting young stars of CWF Mid-Atlantic burst onto internet pay-per-view on Saturday, October 20th, as for the first time ever, the 30-man over-the-top rope CWF Rumble will be broadcast live to the world. Who will be the last man standing at the end of this incredible match? Plus, the Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight title is on the line and so much more for just $9.99. Don't miss the incredible action at the CWF Rumble on iPay-per-view at rumble.cwf247.com.